Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gary Marr. I'm the chair of the Alberta Order of Excellence Council. Welcome to the 2023 Alberta Order of Excellence Investiture Ceremony. Will you please rise, if you are able, for the entrance of Her Honour, the Honourable Sama Lakani, Lieutenant Governor of the Province of Alberta and the Chancellor of the Alberta Order of Excellence, and His Honour, Dr. Zahir Lakani. And I'll also ask you to remain standing through both the vice-regal salute and the invocation to follow. It is customary to refrain from singing while the vice-regal salute is being played. Please remain standing, and I now invite the Honourable Catherine Fraser, the former Chief Justice of the Province of Alberta, to offer the invocation. Ma'am.
Creator of the universe, we ask your blessing upon our sovereign King Charles and upon the Chancellor and members of the Alberta Order of Excellence. We acknowledge with gratitude the gifts of their time and talents and their devotion to the common good. We give thanks to the members of the Order who have departed this life and are at rest. Grant to all of us the will to follow their example of loyalty, generosity, and service to others. We also give thanks to the 8 remarkable Albertans being inducted into the Alberta Order of Excellence today. Each has made an extraordinary difference in our world, and in doing so has blazed a trail for others to follow. Doing that is not easy. It requires ingenuity and insight to know when and how to leave the well-trodden path, and courage to take that first step, often alone, and stride forward into the unknown. To blaze a trail in a manner that inspires others to follow and makes our world a better, safer, more inclusive space, that is an even greater feat. We will soon hear how each new appointee has done just that. May we be inspired by these leaders to be agents for change and continue to work towards a stronger, more positive future. Peace to all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends all, please be seated. Good afternoon, Your Honours, Honourable Justice, members of the Alberta Order of Excellence, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Today, we have a great pleasure of welcoming 8 outstanding individuals to the Alberta Order of Excellence. The Alberta Order of Excellence is part of Canada's national honours system. It is the highest honour that our province has to offer to its citizens. This year, 2023, marks the 44th anniversary of the Order, and since it was created in 1979, only 212 people have become members, and that includes the remarkable Albertans that we are celebrating today. Considering our province is home to more than 4.6 million people, and over a period of 44 years, you can appreciate how rare, how significant this lifetime honor is. Each year, the AOE Council considers many worthy nominations from across the province, representing a diverse range of contributions and endeavors. And the people that all of you are about to meet today are the best of the best. These are people that lead rather than waiting to be led. These are folks that tackle challenges head on. They have dedicated themselves to serving others as advocates, as mentors, and as role models. But there is something distinctively special about this AOE class of 2023, and that is this, in my observation: every one of them is a pioneer. Each one of them has focused on a specific area of our society and has made unique contributions. And most importantly, their pioneering has subsequently changed the world for others and changed the world for the better. Now, if you were to ask them about their pioneering work, I would suspect that they would point to the people behind them, their teams that they've worked with and their teams at home, and they would give those teams credit. But make no mistake, the individuals we honor today were catalysts. They were innovators. They were driving forces that made success happen. And because of these individuals, our communities are stronger, our province is stronger, and they changed people's lives for the better. So I want to directly address our recipients just for a moment. It is common to respond with humility when being honored, feeling and saying that we are humbled. Well, I'm telling you, don't be humble. I'm telling you, be proud. Be proud of the vision and the hard work that helped you earn it, and enjoy this day and this recognition. and then continue to do great work. Continue to be a great example. Continue to be an inspiration for other Albertans. Now, I'm happy to say that we're going to meet each of these outstanding individuals shortly, but first it is my pleasure to invite the King's representative here in Alberta, the Honourable Salma Lakhani, the Lieutenant Governor of the Province of Alberta, to say a few words. Your Honour.
Thank you so much, Gary. I acknowledge all First Peoples who have called this place home for thousands of years and who welcomed us here to make our own lives. May we always dwell together on these lands with respect, understanding, and a sincere commitment to walking the path of reconciliation and now reconciliation with our Indigenous sisters and brothers on this journey. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this, our beautiful government house. I always, at ceremonies like these, I always ask by a show of hands, how many of you have been inside this beautiful government house of ours, which is the ceremonial home of all Albertans? Can I have a show of hands? You've all been, well, there's so many of you who have not been in here. And I thought most of you would have been in here. I saw Mrs. Harper, Lorraine Harper, walk in, and I went to say hello to her, and I said, "You've been in here many times, haven't you?" And she said, "No, this is my first time being in here." So thank you for coming. Welcome to this, the ceremonial home of all Albertans. So all the individuals who are being inducted today to the Alberta Order of Excellence have made significant contributions to the improvement of our province, sparking innovation and meaningful social change. You have all strengthened the quality of life that we are so fortunate to enjoy with your pioneering spirits and your determination to moving Alberta and Canada forward. While each new member paves the way for future generations in a unique and very meaningful way, there is a common element at the heart of what you do, a philosophy that the poet Ralph Waldo Emerson captured in these simple words, and I quote, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail," unquote. Our new members have not only focused their time and talents to making a difference in the here and now, but also on ensuring that their work will inspire greater well-being, understanding, and opportunity for generations to come. They represent, as was said, the very best principles that stand at the heart of who we all are as Albertans and Canadians, and I know that their fine examples will continue to light the way forward for all of us. As His Majesty the King's representative and Chancellor of the Alberta Order of Excellence, it is my pleasure to recognize and warmly congratulate the recipients: Jim Carter, Max Foran, the Right Honorable Stephen J. Harper, Joe Lukacs, Audrey McFarlane, the Honorable Claudette Tardif, Stella Thompson, and Angus Watt. I offer my most heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for all that you have done. Thank you for brightening our world with your considerable talents, your compassion, and your thoughtful citizenship. The Honorable David Johnston, in his book, The Idea of Canada, which is a collection of very thoughtful letters, thoughtful and thought-provoking letters to various individuals, begins one letter with an especially meaningful short sentence. He says, "Service is love made visible." In what each one of you has done and continues to do, you show love for a better Alberta and a better Canada. You inspire the rest of us to be better Canadians. It is an honor to share this special moment with you and your loved ones. And to the family members and loved ones, I'd like to say thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of this journey that has brought your loved one to this point today. Thank you all, and let's enjoy the celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. This afternoon, members of the Alberta Order of Excellence Council have the great pleasure of presenting the 2023 AOE members to each and every one of you this afternoon. The Alberta Order of Excellence Council members are Chief Jim Boucher of Fort McKay, Lieutenant Colonel Brian Hodgson of Edmonton, Patricia Moore of the City of Calgary, and Jerry Nakvi of Edmonton. Sharon Carey of Cochrane is unable to join us today, and I'm sure that all of us hope that she's feeling better soon. And my sincere thanks to each and every one of you for the work that you do throughout the year for the Council. Our first two presentations will be made by Chief Jim Boucher. Chief Boucher.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of the Council, it is my honor to present James Carter for membership in the Alberta Order of Excellence. Jim Carter is a giant in the history of Canada's oil sands. An exemplary leader in their sustainable development, this modern pioneer transformed the fledgling industry and the frontier town of Fort McMurray into a powerful economic engine for our nation, while building Syncrude Canada into one of the world's largest and most successful energy producers, and his support for building a skilled workforce and creating opportunities for Indigenous peoples make him an extraordinary community builder. In the early, uncertain days of the oil sands, Jim believed that with technological change, driven by groundbreaking research, one could reduce the financial and environmental cost of a barrel of oil. And he was right. During his 28 years with Syncrude Canada, Jim introduced one innovation after another and transformed the industry. He made it more efficient. He made it more profitable. He also made it cleaner and more environmentally sustainable. And he made it more inclusive. One of Jim's most significant impacts in Alberta comes from his passion to see others succeed. He has long believed that stakeholders, communities, and individuals are all partners and participants of the growth of the energy sector. In short, Jim's vision has built an Alberta where many have found success. And Albertans continue to find success. He may have retired in 2017, but he's not finished community building. Whether you talk to people from industry associations or Indigenous communities, post-secondary or education of the arts, they all report the same experience of him. He takes the time to listen. Then he helps over the long term. His service to industry, corporate post-secondary, public service, not-for-profit, and arts organizations have seen him consistently dedicate decades to important causes. As Jim has said, you can't do things overnight. To achieve sustainable goals, you need to put in substantial time. For his outstanding contributions, it is my honor, on behalf of the Council, to name James Edward Clark Carter as a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence. Congratulations, Jim. On behalf of the Council, I am honored to present Maxwell Foran for membership into the Alberta Order of Excellence. Max Foran of Priddis, Alberta, is a highly respected teacher, professor, author, historian, media figure, wildlife activist, and contributor to his community. He has influenced generations of students, historians, and Albertans with his original thinking and dynamic approach. Max has been a teacher since he was 18 years old in his native Australia. He taught there for 10 years before he met the Canadian named Heather McEwen. They soon married in Calgary, and Max built a distinguished 10-year career with the Calgary Board of Education as an elementary school teacher and principal. He initially attended the University of Calgary to get a Canadian education degree, but he discovered a second love along the way, history. While he taught elementary school by day, he completed his master's and doctorate degree in history by night. Ultimately, he became a professor in Canadian studies at the university, and quickly developed a strong reputation as an exceptional instructor with an outstanding scholarly record. He was among the first to mine the extensive archival collections at the Glenbow Museum and became a specialist in Western Canadian history, particularly Alberta and the city of Calgary. Over the decades, Max has animated many aspects of our history on a wide array of platforms, including radio, television, film, and podcasts. Literally thousands of public lectures across Alberta and 14 transformative history books, including The Subjugation of Canadian Wildlife, a tour de force that began influencing scholars, wildlife advocates, and government policy upon its very release. In addition to his scholarships, Max's great success is also thanks to his engaging speaking style, inspired by his father-in-law, Grant McEwen. Max knew he must first engage the students so he might empower them in elementary school and enlighten them in university. As a result, he was a beloved professor with many students enrolling in every course he offered. In fact, several of his elementary school students choose to become a student again in university. He's a great teacher and historian. He's Alberta's teacher and historian. In recognition of his outstanding contribution, it is my honor, on behalf of the Council, to name Maxwell Lawrence Foran as a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence.
Congratulations, Max, and thank you, Jim. I only point out one erratum, and that is that Max enjoyed a career with the Calgary Board of Education for 30 years, not 10. And I know that because he was the principal at my elementary school back in 1968. Our next two presentations are going to be made by Mrs. Patricia Moore. So, Mrs. Moore, please come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of the Council, I'm honored to present the Right Honourable Stephen Joseph Harper for membership in the Alberta Order of Excellence. Stephen Harper of Bragg Creek is an economist, politician, and author, and Canada's 22nd Prime Minister from 2006 to 2015. He co-founded the modern Conservative Party of Canada and went on to win 3 consecutive national elections, leading Canada through a decade of complex geopolitical, economic, and security challenges. Under Stephen's leadership, Canada reduced federal taxes to their lowest level in 50 years, created 1.3 million new jobs, balanced the budget, attracted new investment, and fostered innovation. He championed the development of Alberta's oil sands. He won international respect for his government stewardship of Canada's economy during the global financial crisis of 2008. He oversaw historic trade negotiations to expand Canada's commercial relationships, expanding our free trade network from 5 to 51 countries. He implemented a clear and principled foreign policy. He oversaw Canada's involvement in a series of complex conflicts in Afghanistan, Libya, and Iraq, and he stood staunchly by besieged allies Israel and Ukraine. To improve the health of mothers and children in the world's most impoverished nations, he secured nearly $11 billion under the G8's Muskoka Initiative. Of course, these are just a fraction of his achievements while in office. Today, as chairman and CEO of Harper and Associates Consulting, he works in financial services, technology, and energy sectors. He serves as the chair of the International Democratic Union, the global alliance of more than 80 center-right political parties. And he is an author with these titles to his name: A Great Game, The Forgotten Leafs and the Rise of Professional Hockey, and Right Here, Right Now, Politics and Leadership in the Age of Disruption. Stephen's leadership and extensive legacy have had a profound impact on the world. And yet, throughout his lengthy public service, he has maintained a residence in Alberta and has never forgotten his base here, placing a priority on protecting the interests of Alberta and Albertans at the federal level. In recognition of his outstanding contributions, it is my honor, on behalf of the Council, to name the Right Honourable Stephen Joseph Harper as a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence. Congratulations, Stephen. On behalf of the Council, I'm honored to present Joe Lukacs for membership in the Alberta Order of Excellence. Joe Lukacs of Calgary is an entrepreneur, engineer, business executive, and mentor who has dedicated his remarkable 60-year career achieving cleaner air for Alberta, a benefit that has spread worldwide. Some of you will remember in the 1970s, a major environmental issue often reported in the media was acid rain. But we don't hear about acid rain anymore because we have Joe and his colleagues, all international air quality experts, to thank for it. A primary contributor to acid rain is sulfur dioxide, which comes from sour gas plants. Joe recognized that sour gas plants in Alberta were neither being monitored nor abating their emissions of sulfur dioxide. So he innovated the technologies necessary to do both. As a result, Alberta sour gas plants started removing more than 99% of the sulfur in their gas, making Alberta an international model of environmental efficiency. Then Joe shared how to do it with the world. At its peak, his company, Western Research and Development, was selling its products and services in 50 countries. Joe became internationally respected as a leader in industrial pollution control and used his global connections to solve many problems faced by Alberta industry. One rather notable project saw him work with CFB Suffield on Project Swiftsure, which destroyed Canada's stockpile of mustard gas left over from World War II. At the time, no technology existed that could destroy this gas until it was developed by Joe and his team. For the last 30 years, Joe has mentored and inspired generations of environmental entrepreneurs. As the president and CEO of CTAC West, he has helped over 500 Alberta innovators to commercialize their clean technologies. He also led CTAC's eco-efficiency project for the upstream oil and gas industry, which improved the efficiency of gas processing operations. In short, to say that the world enjoys a cleaner air thanks to Joe Lukacs is a simple fact. For his outstanding contributions, it is my honor on behalf of the Council to name Joe Lukacs as a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence.
Congratulations, Joe, and thank you very much, Pat. Our next two presentations will be made by Jerry Nackby. Mr. Nackby, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of the Council, I am honored to present Audrey McFarlane for membership in the Alberta Order of Excellence. Audrey McFarlane of Cold Lake has dedicated her life to improving the lives of others. She has effectively moved action on fatal alcoholic spectrum or disorder, or FASD, from her local community to national and international platform. In the 1990s, very little was known about the FASD. As a young social worker, Audrey could see the struggle it caused and was driven to help families impacted by it. So she educated herself and she shared what she learned with her community. Then she pioneered delivering services to people affected by the disability. She created the first FASD diagnostic clinic in Alberta under the auspices of the Lakeland Center for FASD in Cold Lake. Since 2001, Lakeland Center has served as a service model for programs and facilities across the country. Today, it is Canada's Center for Excellence in Diagnosis and Training. Audrey was also key in establishing the Canada FASD Research Network, initially serving as board chair and now as an executive director. Currently, she is advocating for a bill in Canada Senate regarding a national strategy. And she is recognized as an international expert in FASD. Thanks to Audrey, Canada now leads the world in much of the research underway. And last year, she signed a memorandum of understanding with Australia to enhance research on the disability. As Audrey says, this is one of the few disabilities where there is still a ton of work to be done, and she is committed to seeing it happen. Her community work is as tireless as her work with FASD. Inspired by her sister Lynn, she has given her time generously to Special Olympics over the years. She also chairs the Women of Influence Colleague Awards Committee, shining a spotlight on women who provides the next generation with strong and positive role models. Audrey is proof that one person can make a big difference. For her outstanding contribution, it is my honor, on behalf of the Council, to name Audrey Ann McFarlane as a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence. Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of the Council, I am honored to present Claudette Tardif for membership in the Alberta Order of Excellence. Teacher, professor, researcher, dean, senator, and community builder. The Honorable Claudette Tardif, formerly of Edmonton and recently of Calgary, has been recognized as one of Canada's foremost advocates and offenders of bilingualism and minority linguistic and cultural rights, all the while making considerable contribution to secondary and post-secondary education in Alberta. As a high school teacher with the Edmonton Catholic School Board, Claudette motivated her students to embrace what they loved most about the French language and culture. As a post-secondary professor at the University of Alberta, faculty St. John's, she was a source of inspiration for a generation of young leaders and graduates. As dean of the faculty, she was the first to implement several bilingual academic programs in Canada and Western Canada. Throughout her academic career, her research focused on teacher education, immersion education, and the role of Francophone schooling in developing cultural identity in a minority rights environment. As an active member of more than 50 professionals and community-based provincial and national organizations, she has launched many initiatives with direct and positive benefits for Alberta. Following the adoption of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom in 1982, and more specifically Article 23. She served as one of the committees setting up the first French language school in Edmonton in 1984. She was a key organizer of the 8th World Athletics Championship in 2001 and the World Masters Games in 2005. She was part of a fundraising team to build aging in place facilities for Edmonton's senior Francophone community. As a senator in the Parliament of Canada for 13 years, she advanced Bill C-232 regarding the bilingualism of Supreme Court judges, and under her leadership as chair of the Standing Committee on Official Languages, the Senate has approved a major study on the modernization of the Official Language Act. On this day, Claudette continues to promote bilingualism and advocate her linguistic and cultural rights of minority in Canada. In recognition of her outstanding contribution, it is my honor on behalf of the Council to name Claudette Tardif as a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence.
You beat me to it.
I did.
Got to welcome our next two investitures. I present to you Lieutenant Colonel Brian Hodgson. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Congratulations, Claudette. On behalf of the Council, I'm honored to present Stella Thompson for membership in the Alberta Order of Excellence. Stella Thompson has been involved in Calgary's business community for over 5 decades as an economist, governance leader, mentor, and advocate for women. A true trailblazer in Alberta's energy industry, she became a thought leader on governance practices long before it was an agenda item. Stella made her first mark in Australia with the petroleum and gas company BHP, Australia's largest commercial organization, while still in her 20s. Upon her move back to Canada, she worked for several of Canada's largest energy companies in both upstream and downstream operations. When she was named Vice President of Petro-Canada, she became one of the first women to become an executive of a large energy company. As an early achiever in a male-dominated industry, she inspired many women aspiring to be successful in business. As she did her volunteer work with the International Women's Forum Canada. After 20 years in the energy industry, Stella added a new phase to her career as board director. She was the first woman in Western Canada to be a director of multiple publicly traded companies. She relished the challenge of serving boards in widely diverse sectors, including science and technology, transportation, post-secondary education, innovation, insurance, pharmaceuticals, the financial industry, and the environment. As her board service increased, so did her interest in board governance. Ahead of her peers in recognizing its importance, Stella founded Governance West, which provided a broad range of executive and corporate governance advice and consulting expertise to many top-tier Canadian companies. She delved into issues surrounding diversity, inclusion, environmental, social, and governance criteria, long before those terms were spoken around boardroom tables. Stella's extensive board experience enabled her to always see the big picture, keeping boards focused on strategy and long-term sustainability. She became recognized as a key contributor to the evolution of corporate governance in Canada, providing her expertise to over 250 organizations, ranging from multi-billion-dollar companies to crown corporations to not-for-profits. In recognition of her outstanding contributions, it is my honor, on behalf of the Council, to name Stella Marjorie Thompson as a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence. Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of the Council, I'm honored to present James Angus Watt for membership in the Alberta Order of Excellence. For more than 40 years, Angus Watt of Edmonton has served Albertans as a respected senior business leader, community builder, volunteer, and philanthropist. He shares his vast experience and personal network to invest in the prosperity of the community around him. Angus and his team, the Angus Watt Advisory Group at National Bank Financial, regularly win Canada-wide awards recognizing the caliber of fiscal guidance they provide. Angus shares that guidance and experience with organizations that provide essential social programming and services so that they can establish sustainable, ongoing sources of funding and help more Albertans in need. As a result, he has helped build new and more robust community commitments across charitable, private, and nonprofit sectors. But as Angus says, it's not always about the money. It's also about showing up, doing the job you committed to, and leaving the organization in a better position than when you started. And he has done exactly that, over and over again. The list of organizations he has assisted is lengthy, to say the least, like the Support Network, where he spearheaded a sustainable organization offering a wide range of mental health services, like the Cross Cancer Institute, where he has where he has helped increase the visibility of critically important cancer research conducted there. Like Little Warriors, which he has advised since its inception. Like the University of Alberta, where he has mentored business students at the Rocky Mountain Business Seminar for decades. And like the South Alberta Light Horse, where he has made connections between reservists who serve the regiment and the community, and supported young Afghanistan veterans as they reintegrated back to Alberta with complex family, school, and work challenges. Let me tell you, this barely scratches the surface of Angus's service to the community. Sometimes he takes a leadership role, at other times he works quietly behind the scenes. But it is always with singular passion to make Edmonton and Alberta more caring, more successful for all. In recognition of his outstanding contributions, it is my honor on behalf of the Council to name James Angus Reed Watt as a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence.
I have learned over my years never to argue with Brian Hodgson, because why would you argue with a guy who carries a knife in his sock, really? So, look, I want to say congratulations, Angus, and thank you, Brian. My warmest congratulations go to each and every one of our outstanding citizens who joins the ranks of the Alberta Order of Excellence on this day. Let's give them another round of applause. Now, before we conclude, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge outstanding members of the Order of Excellence that we lost in this past year. David Layton of Banff was inducted into the Order in 1985. June Lohr of Carstairs became a member in 1998. Ian Tyson of Longview, Alberta, was inducted in 2006. And Stan Grad of Airdrie became a member of the Order in 2015. I ask that we all observe a moment of silence to remember and honor all those AOE members who are no longer with us, but who spent their lives making Alberta a better place. All Albertans owe them a debt of gratitude, and I will conclude with the prayer that is said in the Legislative Assembly of Alberta for recognizing the lives that were lost in the previous year. Rest eternal grant unto them, O Lord, and let perpetual shine upon them. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ceremony portion of today's program. I ask you to stand as we conclude with the singing of O Canada. And after O Canada, I invite everybody to proceed to the second floor for a pre-dinner reception. Please feel free to explore the house. Thank you very much.